One day, around 400 years ago, a woman was dragged through these woods up to an ancient pagan altar ahead of me here and burnt alive. Her name was Marte Mikkelsdatter Deli, and she was one of the many victims of the witch trials in Norway. Now the altar is right ahead of me here, and I've been here once before, and it is as emotional now as it was then. We will be treating this place with respect. So there it is, that stone slab there with a triangular shape. This is where it happened. This is where they burnt her alive. According to local folklore, what you see behind me here is a disestein, which means a stone, a rock, a stone slab used to make sacrifices to the female Norse deities. So this means that Marte, who was killed in 1630, right here, she was killed here on a pagan altar. But the killing was motivated, you could say, by Christian superstition or the Christian faith of that time. And I find that not only cruel, of course, but also interesting, because it connects the old faith and the new faith. They did sometimes practice human sacrifice in pre-Christian times. And I will argue that the witch trials was also about human sacrifice. We know quite a bit about the people who became victims to the witch trials. It would typically be people who were different. Maybe someone who had some kind of mental illness, people who just looked different, also people who had a different ethnicity, were at high risk of becoming victims to the witch trials. Women and men who had knowledge that kind of linked them to pre-Christian times, you know, the medicine in nature all around me here, things like that. They could be suspected for witchcraft. Also, I imagine that especially women then, you know, would be at risk of being accused of being a witch if someone was jealous, you know, maybe some disgruntled man who didn't get his way with that woman would then start spreading the rumor that she's a witch and so on, and have her killed, and it was a time of fear and injustice. Now I'm a Norse pagan myself, not a Christian, and I find it very, very important to point out that also before Christianity, they killed people because of superstition. I think we're talking about the madness of crowds. A lot of crazy, evil stuff can happen when people get together like that. Illiterate people with a lot of rage, I believe, because they were, during that time, they were kept down. You know, during the Viking Age also, most people were just peasants and they were kept down. So, you know, the social dynamic is quite easy to understand here. It's early morning now, I don't know at which time of the day or night that Marte was killed here. I don't know. And I don't know if she was placed on top of this stone slab here and burnt alive there. There is certainly enough space there to do that. Or if it happened maybe where I'm standing now, I don't know. She must have been very scared. And it is very emotional for me to stand there actually, and it feels like I should not touch this rock here. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why I'm feeling that way. But I can tell you that the last time I was here, I walked a little bit further down that way to a big boulder lying there. And again, according to local folklore, it was actually a giant troll that threw that boulder towards the church, because the trolls, they don't like the sound of the church bells. He missed the church, but you know, the boulder is still there. And down there I felt something was not right. It was very strange, and I'm not someone who believes in ghosts and things like that. Now, before I continue, let me introduce you to the sponsor of this video, which is folkrealms.com. It's an online community for anyone interested in things like mythology, paganism, and, you know, our European roots, I guess. And it's such a friendly place to be. I'm there, so please join me there. No racism, nobody bullying other people, nobody trying to hijack our pagan roots for political purposes. It's just wonderful. And no AI. You'll find no AI images there. So folkrealms.com. I'm enjoying every second on that platform, so please come and join me there. And also, please help this channel out. I am struggling in that fight against all the AI channels, using AI thumbnails and all of that in the history segment here on YouTube. So please help me out, write a comment, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, please check that you haven't been unsubscribed by YouTube. I upload videos every Saturday, and I would be delighted to have you on board. So please hit that subscribe button, and thank you. Someone left a small rock there, and I find that beautiful. I've just moved over to the other side of the stone slab, and it's easy to see where they climbed up, because there's a slope here. So she would have been dragged up here and put on top there. What a cruel and inhuman thing to do to someone. It's just I can't understand how people can be that evil. I don't get it. I can hear the birds singing in the treetops. And, you know, you could say that, well, it's 400 years ago. Well, actually, it's 396 years ago that this happened. And I don't know if she was the last, probably not the last, to die as a victim to these horrible witch trials. She was certainly not the first. And I don't know how many people were killed here during rituals in pre-Christian times. When I was doing research for this video, I tried to find out more about Marte, who was killed here. I couldn't find any more information than her name and the year that it happened. but I did find lists of names of the people who were killed during the witch trials. And it was disturbing, very disturbing. First of all, we're talking about lots of people. And secondly, as you read through the lists, you would encounter, for instance, a male name, and then under that it would say his wife, his son, and so on. Which means that in some cases they just took the whole family. And I can't imagine the horror and the grief. I can't imagine. We shouldn't be able to imagine something like that, because it's just too horrible. And also you would find people without names, and it would say a sorceress. And remember, this is not that long ago. We are talking about the 1600s. And before that, of course. So it tells us something about how important it is that we, first of all, learn from history, and that we never, ever let things like political ideology or religion become more important than empathy and common sense. And if we look at the world now, I think we're not moving in the right direction. I think we are moving in a very wrong direction. We are moving backwards in time, if you will. That's kind of scary when you think about it. I want to end this video by asking everyone watching to stand up against groupthink, to stand up and be critical towards the people in power, those that claim to know the truth, those that are telling you not to ask questions. We need to stand up against injustice. We need to keep thinking for ourselves. We are heading into difficult times. If you enjoyed this video, there should be another video popping up right next to me or above me. Please click on one of those. It tells YouTube that you want to watch more of my videos. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.